How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of the brand new content coming to MLB The Show. MLB The Show's Twitter revealed that 6 brand new Signature Series cards are going to be released this week. It says, see if you can figure this one out by today's clues. Clue number 1. This current player debuted in Diamond Dynasty's first year with flashbacks, MLB The Show 16. So with this specific tweet, I was a little bit confused with the wording of this specific clue. It says that this current player, so that means that he's still a player right now, debuted in Diamond Dynasty's first year with flashbacks. Now, I know in MLB The Show 15, they had legends in the game, but I didn't really play the game at all or online at all, so I don't know if there were flashbacks. It seems like there weren't, and MLB The Show 16 was the first year that they did release flashbacks. So let me kind of explain what I was talking about with this tweet. I tweeted out the last tweet regarding the signature cards and the clue. I don't know if it meant their live series card debuted in 2016, meaning that they were like making their MLB debut in 2016, like Aaron Judge, Alex Bregman, Trevor Story are potential options there, or their flashback debuted in 2016. So I wasn't really sure with that. I said either way, I'm down for the 6 new Signature Series cards. The content has been incredible. And then I talked a little bit about more with their wording. They said flashbacks, meaning the silver player that linked up to the diamond after completing the mission in MLB The Show 16. The tweet kind of threw me off a little bit, but I did want to kind of give you my background information before I saw this tweet right here. It says, clue number 2. This current player has had a diamond flashback in 16, 17, 18, and now in 19. So this is a very important piece of information to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead and reveal the third and final clue. I was kind of making this video as they tweeted this out, so it will kind of affect some of the choices that I picked. But nonetheless, I still think that for the predictions, I have a few good options and potentially could have guessed a few of these cards that they're going to release for these Signature Series cards in the 6 that they decide to release this week. So let me go ahead and reveal the third clue. Clue number 3. In MLB The Show 17, this current player was a flawless reward in Battle Royale. Well, I'm going to have to go back and take a look at some of the cards in 17 and what the Battle Royale flawless were. But let's go ahead and get into the part of the prediction video. Alright, so now that we've kind of gone over some of the tweets involving some of the clues, including the most recent one, I did want to talk a little bit about some of the options that I thought would have a really good chance to be included in these 6 brand new Signature Series cards. And right here we get a glimpse at a flashback in MLB The Show 16, Robinson Cano as a gold. And I wasn't sure if they're referring to this in their tweet or not, but I figured that this would be part of the second tweet, if that makes sense, involving a flashback in each version of the game. So here we see the gold Robinson Cano. You were supposed to complete a mission with that card in 16, and then you would unlock this 97 overall diamond. And definitely a really good card in probably the best Robinson Cano that we've seen so far. This one arguably might be a little bit better from MLB The Show 17. This card specifically was not able to hit lefties really at all in MLB The Show 17, but definitely a flashback card in each of the games. So it does link up to the second part of the clue. This is I mean, Robinson Cano would be a great card to have for a Signature Series player. However, he does have a 90 overall in MLB The Show 19 already in the collections for the Yankees. And this card is from MLB The Show 18, very similar to some of the stats that we see in MLB The Show 19. I'm just not really sure if they're going to give him a Signature Series card. That's probably the only reason why one of the reasons why I put this card first was because he's probably the least likely of the options available, or the ones that I chose for this video. But I did want to include him. This card is pretty much the exact same as the previous version that I displayed. So definitely a solid card. I just unlocked this one yesterday, and I have not gotten a chance to try some of these cards out. But anyway, the next option is going to be a flashback Hanley Ramirez. I think that this card had actually 2 flashbacks in this version of the game, and I'm going to go ahead and try and get both of those. I think only one of them was on the market, but definitely 2 Hanley Ramirez cards in this one. He did have a flashback in 18 and 19 as well. I'll have those included. And here's the other screenshot of the Hanley Ramirez. A little bit more speed and more power versus lefties. Actually pretty similar card, but 93 overall. The 97 didn't really have as much power versus lefties, but had the power against righties. So I'd be curious to see what a Signature Series Hanley Ramirez is looking like. This card is definitely the best hitting version of Hanley Ramirez that we had. This was from MLB The Show 17 as well. And I know a lot of people really want this card back. I think that a Signature Series version of this one would be the move, and a very good hitting card in general for the Dodgers. Don't really know if the Dodgers would get another Signature Series card because they already have a few. But Hanley Ramirez from 2018, MLB The Show 2018, this card really wasn't all that great. It was pretty similar to, or the same year from the previous version. This Hanley Ramirez from 2009 is the same one as the one from MLB The Show 16, the 97 overall. Just doesn't really have the same hitting stats at all. I mean, pretty nerfed throughout. But anyway, this is the version of Hanley Ramirez that we have in MLB The Show 19 already. One of those tweets did say that each one will have a flashback in each year. So that is the thing to keep in mind with this card. I was trying to look and see if some of the other cards had some flashbacks in 19. They do as well. Here's the Cargo. I think Carlos Gonzalez has a really good chance to get a Signature Series card. I think that the Rockies in general have a really good chance to get a Signature Series card. This version of Cargo was a silver, and you would complete a mission. I think it was tally a bunch of hits or maybe extra base hits, and then you would go ahead and unlock the better version of Cargo, which was a 97 overall. This card was a really good card in MLB The Show 16. He also had a very good card in MLB The Show 17. In last year's game, his card really wasn't all that usable. It came out a little bit late in MLB The Show 18, but nonetheless, he did have a flashback in those 3 years. I'll be going into that right now. This version of Carlos Gonzalez is the one that was from MLB The Show 17. Probably the best Cargo that we've ever seen. This card used to hit home runs against me almost every single time I faced him. He was just a really big-time threat out there in the outfield as well. I mean, 82 fielding was good in this game with 92 arm strength. I think his hitting stats would be right around the same for a Signature Series card. This version of Cargo is from MLB The Show 18. I believe it was an event reward towards the end of the season, towards the end of the game cycle, and definitely a decent card, very similar to the previous year's Cargo with a little bit less power, which I was a little bit confused because the power went above 120 or 100 in this game, so I was just a little bit confused with that. But nonetheless, we do have the 86 overall version of Carlos Gonzalez for the Rockies in the MLB The Show 19 version of the game. This card is pretty good. I know that he has a much different swing, and I was kind of keeping that in mind when I was trying to talk a little bit about these players, trying to go into MLB The Show 19 and see if there's a different version of Cargo's swing, or to see if any other players have a different version of their swing. And I did find one, and I think that this card is going to be the one that's chosen for this prediction. I think it is going to be Troy Tulowitzki. This is the gold version in MLB The Show 16. If you completed the mission with him, then you were able to unlock a diamond. Once again, that's kind of the trend in MLB The Show 16. That's how it was. And you were able to get this 99 overall Troy Tulowitzki. Definitely a solid card with a lot of power, good vision, good fielding. Didn't really have the speed, but very similar to how Cal Ripken Jr. would play, a very similar swing. And I think that this card, a Signature Series version of this card, would be absolutely amazing. I think that he does have a different swing in the game as well already in MLB The Show 19. But anyway, this is the version of the card in MLB The Show 17. And I believe that this was a flawless 12-0 reward. I am not 100% certain on that, but I do believe that this will link up with the third clue and the third tweet. I did see some people replying in that tweet and saying that Troy Tulowitzki is probably the option. I went ahead and went into the Rockies. However, the one thing that kind of threw me off is he doesn't have a flashback in 19 yet. But at the same time, the way that they worded that tweet, it may have seemed like they're and now they'll have a flashback in 2019. Maybe that's what they were kind of getting at with this Tulo. I'm not really sure. I thought that this video would be a lot of fun to make because it is kind of a prediction video. I haven't really done these prediction videos. I will also have a few cards that I did think could be a possibility, but here is the Troy Tulowitzki 2010 swing. I went into the created player and checked this out. However, he doesn't have a flashback from 2010, so this might be the swing that they use on his Signature Series card. Here it is with a little bit of a bat waggle and a clip, but I wasn't really sure. I mean, this kind of threw me off. I thought that these tweets were a great idea. The last time they gave out a hint, it didn't really quite match up with some of the program players that were revealed. If you guys saw the Twitter post with Ricky Henderson, the only hint they really gave was that it wasn't him, which is kind of obvious. He already has a Signature Series card. But these types of clues were definitely really good. I thought at first when I first read the tweet, as I was talking about a little bit at the beginning of this video, I thought that it could be a player that debuted in 2016 that also has a flashback card, but Aaron Judge did not have a flashback in MLB The Show 16, and once they revealed that second tweet, then I thought that Aaron Judge and this Alex Bregman were both eliminated from the conversation. I'm not really sure on what cards they're going to release, but once again, any cards that they release in this game is going to be awesome. I mean, the content this year has been the best it's ever been. And with these cards being released sometime this week, they didn't really give a time frame. That's just my guess. I don't really know if I'll be able to get some of them right away because I just locked in Willie Mays. I'm going to be doing a debut video with him. But thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully I was somewhat correct on some of these. But let me know what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you are new. I'm College Lefty, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.